The same Jesus that submitted himself to death when he was preaching and he was told that Herod is here. He said, go and tie that force. That's what he said to them. The same Jesus that submitted himself to death when the time came for him to die. So when he was preaching before the time of his death, and they were trying to tell him that Herod is around here, he should run away. He said, me, I will run away from you. Go and tell that force. He called him force. Go and tell that force that I will be preaching here, doing miracles here. Today, tomorrow, till I accomplish what I come, because a prophet cannot die outside Jerusalem. He knows. He knows that this is not this harassment. I can't take that rubbish from anybody. The same Jesus that was merciful and gentle, he entered the temple. When he entered Jerusalem, he saw people trading there. He took a whip. He got mad. He took a whip. Hitting people physically. We don't want to talk about that. We only talk about on the cross. So for you to understand, you must understand all these areas too. To know that he knows what he came to do. He knows where limitations of what can be done to him at any time, in any point, in any situation, in any environment. He knows that. So when you come to do what is not expected of you to do to him, he will make you know that, look, I can't take that nonsense from everybody. He spoke boldly to people, insulted a Pharisee that invited him to his house. No, I read it in John. He invited him to his house. A Pharisee invited him to his house. No pastor can try that today. In his house, he was cursing him. What do you, Pharisee? What do you, this? In his house. He was invited. That's the same Jesus that gentle and meek. What do you, Pharisee? You do this, cursing them in their house. Because he knew that here is not where I would die. So if I'm not called to die here, I'm called to do what is right, and I'll do it. But when he got the time he was called to die, he was willing to die. Because he knows it's not about my ways, my Father's will. We must understand this reality about Christian faith. So you don't take what happened in the cross of Calvary and extend it to every life of a Christian, every life of Christians on earth here. You extend it to everything that happens to you. No. There are times you have to stand bold and defend yourself, defend what belongs to you. Stand bold and speak the truth. When God wants you to come back home, God will let you know. When that time comes, you see yourself, you're not even fighting anybody. What I want to do to you, let him do to you. But the time is not yet right. God wants you to fight for your life. Fight to defend it. Fight to come out from it. Fight to succeed. Fight to take over what is given to you. Fight to occupy. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you should chicken out to people because Christ was meek and gentle. Please, these are things I want you to reflect your mind about the Christian faith. I was watching The Passions of Christ with my wife. I think that was the first time watching that movie. She was so touched and all that. She was asking that question that made me to come up with this message. And she didn't understand the whole thing. It was very confusing her. And then listen, you see, it's like now somebody, your father worked for you. Your father worked for you. That's why I told my wife when she was confused about what Christ did, and that means we should do the same thing. We're not supposed to do the same thing. We're not called to die for the world. I said, listen, your father paid school fees for you. He worked so hard, got money, and paid school fees for you to go to school. The way you got to school, somebody told you in the school that because your father worked to get money to pay school fees for you, you should give him the money and leave school and go and work to pay the school fees. Are you understanding? Your father worked, boiled the child, the son, and all that, laboring to make money for you to go to school. After making that money, he gave you the money. Say, I have worked for you to go to school. Then you took the money. When you came to school, if somebody say he doesn't have school fees, you should give him the school fees. And also, you remember your father suffered to make his school fees. Okay, let me go and suffer also to make this boy go to school fees. You give him the school fees and leave going to school to go and work. Is that why your father worked? Jesus died for you to live. Jesus was beat, suffered for you not to suffer. Jesus was punished. He bore curses on himself for you to be liberated from curses. Jesus took a lot of things. Not that he cannot fight it. What kept on the cross was the love he had for you. So that you will live a better life than what is happening to him. Then now he has set you free. He did not for you to be free. You are now going back to do what he did. You are like a boy that his father worked so hard to give money to pay school fees. He got to school out of pity. He now gave another boy the school fees and said, let him go and work. Leave the school to go and work. That is stupidity. That's not why your father worked for. Jesus is not there for you to be messed up by riches, messed up by happiness with you. The people who have no concentration in the heart. If they rise against me, I rise against them. The Son of Jesus is not there for me to take, that for me to have blessing. And then you want to stand that blessing for me. I want me to believe that because Jesus died for me, I should allow you to take it and go scot free with it because Jesus died. So I should also do what my master did. My master did that because that is what he was called to do. That's not what I'm called to do. Please, we must understand this spirituality about Easter. Let us stop as Christians allowing wicked, heartless people to be messing us up as a messing up for centuries. Taking advantage of believers because they find us to be people who believe in sharing, being kind, forbearing, going extra length for others and others. And today, a lot of people now they take a ride of that because they don't even appreciate. They don't even appreciate what to do for them. They don't even see it as a good thing. They see us to be stupid. Let me tell you something you don't know. Let me tell you something. Another thing I want to give you like before I go. When Christ was on the cross, suffering, he was winning the devil. Hello? What he was doing was a victory. What he was going through was giving him victory today that he has. So that suffering was not in vain. That suffering is like a spiritual strategy to defeat them. If God knows that his son's death will not provide some spiritual enablement, God will not allow anybody to touch his son. So what Christ suffered was profitable. It was a strategy to defeat death. It wasn't that he was fooling around, please. So when you also want to suffer for anything, you believe in your faith that I should suffer for this. You should also put in mind of what you will benefit for going through that pain. Because Christ had that in his mind. God also knows that when Christ was suffering. So the suffering was not stupidity. Like today, the devil wants to deceive him to just suffer for nothing. Christ did not forgive for nothing. Hello? He did not forgive for nothing. He forgave because he knew what that forgiveness would bring for him. That's one. Two. That is the history. You see that all of them that contributed in his suffering of Jesus, including the people of Israel, even though God, Christ on the cross, forgive them for the know what to do, but in reality, did God forgive them for the know what to do? In reality, God didn't forgive them. 6 million Jews were killed in the world. Huh? Judas died because God said, curses them and bring it up. But Jesus said, forgive them for the know what to do. Jesus is doing his job the way it's supposed to be done. He was doing his job the way it's supposed to be done. That is the way he's supposed to approach it. He should approach it with forgiveness, because that is how it will be meritorious to him. Because what he's doing is to liberate you and me. So he should come in that manner. But hello, that forgiveness he spoke on the cross is for those who will put his faith in him. It's not for everybody. That forgiveness he said on the cross is for those who will eventually put their faith in him, who will be now obedient to God. They're the ones that will benefit from that forgiveness. But unknown to us, the way it has been presented over the years is that forgiveness for everybody. Go and check history. The Israelites suffered intensely for that thing they did to Christ. Today, Rome, no matter how they are good, they can't deliver. Rome, I'm not talking of things that you cannot verify. Rome, still those things. You can see the cast away of Romans. For being the instrument that killed Christ. Even though it's in the Holy Land. But go there. He will ask me, they have experts that prepare them, but development cannot go above a particular level in Rome. These are people that were world power in those days. God see the curses. When the people, Jesus said, when the Israel said, let the curse fall on us and our children. That's what they said it happened. Israel, the Jews suffered among the races in the world. They suffered intensely because of that crucifixion that happened to Christ. So when Jesus was saying the cross, forgive them for know what to do, that's what he said. Because that's how he has to approach the sacrifice. But in reality, did God forgive them for know what to do? No! God did not forgive them for know what to do. God punished them. But unfortunately, most pastors will not tell you this story. These are the realities. This is the Bible. And I encourage you, don't allow the person to fool around. I've been fooled around and I know what it is. I've been messed around, I've been messed up. People are taking advantage of my love for them. But I realize, and I'm happy that those things have opened my number 7 to be able to understand the truth about God. And now I know what it means to be saved. I know what it means to carry his power. So please, I encourage you, be mindful that it's time for everything, okay? And we thank God for what he did for us. That today we who have put our faith in him, we are the ones that forgiveness is speaking for our lives. And there are ordinances that should be observed so that we don't allow the devil and the wicked to take up for the right. So I encourage you to have that understanding in you. Make your research.